Hi everyone, it's Grant here at the New You. I'm joined by the lovely Melissa Gordon. How are you, Melissa?
I'm not too bad at the end of a work week and a crazy work day. So it's lovely just to take a few minutes out to grab a nice cup of black coffee, big pint of water, and have a bit of a chat to our lovely, gorgeous Grant.
You're too kind. Um, yeah, throw me off track there slightly. Well, for those of you who are listening and don't know what this call is about, I'm doing a phone interview with Melissa. She was our Makeover Prize winner from earlier on in the year. You will have seen her photos on our website. So we'll talk about that a little bit, but also the real reason behind this call is I just wanted to interview her as a success story. You know, Melissa's done really well. Congratulations, by the way, Melissa.
Thank you very much.
Well, we're all very, very proud of you. Um, and what I'll do then, Melissa, is I'm just going to start from the very beginning where I always start. It's, for me, this is, there's the one question that always sticks out for me at the beginning, which is, obviously, when did you start?
Well, it's a bit of a long story. I actually started in November of last year because I kind of thought, you know what, the Christmas season is coming up, and I am so sick and tired of not having anything nice to wear and always feeling really frumpy. I mean, then I was 25, so I was kind of wearing like old women's clothing just to kind of hide myself. And I just thought, you know what, I can't do it again this year. I can't, go out on a staff night out and be the one that, just kind of sits hiding behind the table and, isn't much fun because I had no confidence. So I just thought, right, I saw this on Facebook and I thought, aha, this seems to be the solution to all of my problems and I will do it. I started it then. It was, I think, the 19th of November. So, yeah, nearly a year ago. And went at it gung-ho and it worked out really, really, really well. But then Christmas happened. And this is the thing. At Christmas, I just went back to my old ways, which was a really stupid thing to do. But it did teach me a massive lesson because directly after Christmas, after I had put on not all of the weight, I have to say, but a good bit of the weight again, it kind of occurred to me, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, as they say, you'll get the same results. So I decided, right, I'm going to go back into this and I'm going to give it my all. And I started back on the plan again. And since then, I haven't gained any of the weight back. It's just been more and more and more of losses and losses. But it has taught me so many things about what to do when I do get to my goal and I do get off plan. I know now that I can't just come off plan and just go back to my old ways because, obviously it's going to have a very negative impact. It's been nearly a year, but I have to say one of the best years of my life so far.
Awesome. And I have to say one thing that really stood out with it for me there was your methodical approach to all this. It was just, the way you see it as doing the same thing time and time again isn't going to get the results you wanted. And I think for so many of us, that's the biggest problem. We all want change. It's just we don't know how to get it, and we think if we just think about change, it will happen, and it doesn't actually work that way. We've got to take the actions to get the change. And you actually covered on the next thing that I was going to ask you, which was why you started. So you said it was the lead up to Christmas, and you weren't really happy with the way that things were for you.
Definitely. Well, I think that's the when kind of question answered. I think the why, had been maybe a year or two at least leading up to that, where I was just getting kind of more and more depressed and upset with my life because it was quite strange. You don't really pinpoint something as the cause of a lot of your depression, but for me, the weight really impacted on my confidence and, feeling that I was worthy and, feeling like I could be, my best, I suppose. So, it had been niggling in the back of my mind for quite a while, but I think just choosing to do it in November was definitely because I thought, you know what, this Christmas I'm going to look probably not, the skinniest, but, getting a bit of the weight off will certainly help things, and I'll have a better Christmas that way.
Well, that's awesome. And it's quite funny to hear that you say that you weren't feeling worthy and you didn't have the confidence and that sort of thing, because I didn't really meet you that much at the beginning, but by the time, I got to meet Melissa Gordon and chat to her, I think you were already a very different person. You come across as really confident, and you have definitely this awesome aura about you that just radiates positivity and confidence. So from my own perspective, that's definitely changed for you. And would you say that that is the case then?
Oh, definitely. See, when I was younger, my weight is tended. I've always been a big girl, but there has been like a moment or two, like when I first started university, where I did lose a bit of weight, and it's kind of like the real me is this kind of very extrovert, confident, bubbly, bit of a mental case. Usually up for everything, and isn't afraid to prance about like a complete idiot. But I think that was the reason why I was getting so sad, was because all of this weight just seemed to sit on top of that person who I was, and was kind of crushing her, like smothering her and making sure she just shut up and stayed behind the scenes and sat in the corner. And it's really tough when you don't have this sort of cohesion between the person that you are and the way that you are almost forced to act, just to kind of hide all the shame that you feel about yourself. So yeah, I think I'm back to the real Melissa. And yeah, God help anyone that comes across my path, because I am getting more and more mental by the day.
Well, you brought that right back, and I hope that the person that you've become never disappears again, because it really is an amazing character to bear witness to, indeed.
Yes, you can.
Now, Melissa, in terms of that then, because you said that your weight had gone up and down now, obviously, again, this is something that I would know, but just for the sake of anyone that's listening to this, we can just, we've seen how far you've progressed as an individual, but just in terms of what the plan's done for you, do you mind me asking what your starting weight was, how much you've lost, and that sort of thing, and what it's meant in terms of sizes and that, just that general sort of thing?
Yeah, no problem. Well, when I first started, it was kind of like the very beginning of November. I thought, right, I'm going to try and get some weight off, so I did some exercise classes, whatever, did that for a couple of weeks. So when I first started deciding, right, I'm going to lose weight, I was about 16.5 stone. And now, well, see, this is the thing, I'm not weighing myself until the 22nd of November, where we have our new photo shoot to do, which will be very exciting. But the last time I weighed myself, I was just about 11 stone. So my goal, my personal goal is 10.5 stone, because that means my BMI is going to be completely healthy. And, everybody's target is different. My goal is, because I quite like my curves, I like having big boobs and a big bum. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I like being bootylicious, so it's all good. But yeah, I mean, in those couple of months, losing so much weight has meant that I've gone down from, it was about a size 22, definitely on the bottom, to now, and you won't believe this, I'm so chuffed about this, I bought my first designer dress in a size 10. I couldn't believe it. It was ridiculous. I was actually in TK Maxx, because, yeah, I don't have the cash to buy an actual designer dress. And they had this beautiful, beautiful dress, and the only size I had in it was a size 10. And I just thought, well, I'll try it on anyway. There's no chance in hell that a size 10 will fit me, but sure, here we go. Went to the changing rooms, and it fit like a dream. And I actually had a bit of a cry in the changing rooms, because I just never really thought that I could, get down to a size 10, like me, a size 10. Are you kidding? But it just shows, if you do kind of persevere with something and you have that goal in mind and you just keep chipping away at it very slowly but surely, and away you go, you will actually get there. So yeah, very tough. Size 10, woo!
That is unreal. So you've dropped right down to 11 stone, size 10, and that puts you then just within a breath of where you want to be. That is fantastic.
Yep, and on plan at the moment, and feeling really good. I'm in ketosis, so that's probably why I come across as really bouncy because I've got far too much energy for my own good. So yeah, definitely, I will promise you this, by the 22nd of November, I will be in my healthy BMI, which means I'll have gone from morbidly obese, down to overweight, and down to normal. And I'm going to have a party on that day.
Awesome, awesome. Well, as normal as can be expected, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, I tell you, that just really puts it into perspective. As I say, that was something that I'd known even from the photo shoot, and for us, as was something that we were really, really proud of. And obviously, when we got the chance to do the photo shoot with you, it was something that we jumped at. But just to bring it back a little bit, then, when you started the plan, you obviously had this mindset, this vision of what it would mean for you to get down to your goal weight. And I suppose this is a two-part question. The first part is, A, have those dreams been realized? B, have they shifted at all? Have they changed? Has your whole, take on reality shifted?
Well, it's actually a really interesting question because when I first started the plan, I never actually thought that I'd be getting anywhere near the 10-stone mark when I first started, because I tried every diet company you could possibly imagine. I'm not going to mention them. I think we all know which ones they are. And for some strange reason, I managed to gain weight on these, plans that they had sorted. I even went to a dietitian and managed to gain about £1 pound a week. So it was absolutely ridiculous. And I just thought, oh, well, I'm never going to get down there. But what I really want to do is I just want to lose, say, 2 stone. If I can do that, it's going to take me ages, I thought in my head. Then I'll be feeling a lot better and I won't feel so disgusting. And so I just really, really, I think it's having those shorter goals, I think it really helped me, because once, once I achieved even 1 stone off, it made such a difference, because I was like, right, okay, I've done 1 stone. That wasn't too hard, actually. Right, okay, we'll go for 2 stone. And once I got to the 2nd stone, well, I might be able to do 3. Let's go for 3. And then from that kind of point, I knew that it was working so well that I thought, after maybe the 2nd or 3rd stone, right, come on, I'm going to push for gold here, and literally I'm going to get down to my healthy BMI. And just having that particular visualization in my head and, picturing myself at my goal weight and all the things that I would love to do but was too ashamed to do beforehand, really, really helps. So I would definitely say to anyone that has a lot of weight to lose, break it up into the smaller goals, definitely, and visualize. It really, really helps. If you can associate or imagine the feelings that you'll have when you get to your goal, it makes it such an absolute dream when you actually get there, and it makes it so much easier to achieve as well.
You're making me want to go out and run a marathon.
Now, don't be ridiculous. Running? Oh, no.
Yeah, I used to say the only reason I'd run is if something was chasing me. But that truly, no, that's the kind of effect you're having. That's that sort of inspiration, and it's the methodical aspect that I was referring to earlier in terms of, even your approach at this level, hitting the milestones one by one and tackling them that way.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
really great to
helps.
see. Yeah. And I suppose, again, this one's coming a bit out of left field. It's just because it's something that's very near and dear to me. So I'm sorry for railroading this conversation into a completely different track.
Okay.
But, you've been with us a while. So I just wanted to say, how have you found the whole New You experience in terms of us as a family? You're talking Secret Slimmers, maybe chatting to myself and Alien Customer Services. How did you find the support? What was it? What you were expecting,
Well,
and that sort of thing?
that's a really weird thing, because, when you look at a company, usually you just kind of think, all right, this is going to be another faceless company that just wants to sell me products and isn't really going to give a damn about me. And the experience was the complete opposite of that. I really felt that you guys really cared about me. You were very honest with me as well. Anytime I needed any one of you and obviously the amazing Secret Swimmers group. Hello, Secret Swimmers! Just the whole experience was absolutely fantastic because I didn't feel like I was being hounded by anybody or browbeaten or that, you were just, firing products for me to buy. It was, I could go in and ask any question and instantly I would get a reply, and it would be very thoughtful and very, very personal as well. I actually do feel, it's going to sound a bit weird, but loved by all of you guys. And just, I absolutely adore going on to Secret Swimmers because, that is a proper family, definitely. You have people celebrating each other's losses, helping each other through the possible tough times, through your first couple of days, sharing the photos as well. And it's just amazing to see people, that have been there for a couple of months, losing so much weight and looking so fantastic. If anyone ever, wants to have a bit of a boost in their day, just go on Secret Swimmers, honestly, and just have a read through. It is absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely, and that's something that I've even noticed in terms of when you said that, it's made something spring to my own mind. Like this month, Julianne asked me to take up the challenges and the tasks. So I was doing the videos, which for me is like way, way, way out of my comfort zone. But it just seems like...
that. You definitely couldn't tell that. You do them so well.
Thank you. But it was what you were saying there, though. There's definitely this flame that's been nurtured, and it radiates this warmth through all of our customers, because as terrified as I was, and as bad as I thought every video was at the end of every day, I was just getting more and more positive feedback. And indeed, I still don't feel like I'm doing it right. But again, that's the kind of support that you get. So it's not even about the diet. It's just about the people, I suppose.
Oh, definitely.
So
it's weird. I think New Japan attracts, just fantastic people. I haven't come across anyone that's been anything other than wonderful. And that was the other thing. Like, I actually love, reading your blog posts and your videos, watching your videos. They always bring a smile to my face. And I think that sort of personal nature, where I know, I can get in touch with you guys at any time, and just, watch the videos or something if it is 3 a.m., just to give myself, an extra bit of a push, is wonderful. You wouldn't get that from any other diet company at all.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, and it warms our hearts to know that we have managed to nurture that element of it. Well, the next part then, Melissa, is my favorite part, because it's where we get down to the nuts and bolts of you as a person.
Uh-oh.
So I want a snapshot in the day of Melissa Gordon. Now, you've done it all, so we'll split this one up into two sections, because you had done, well, you are doing the diet full on as TFR at the moment, but you've done the refeed and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So for anyone that's listening, I want a snapshot in the day of your life in terms of the TFR the part of it, where you're doing the 4 products a day and the water allowance. So just, run through your routine. You wake up in the morning. What is it you do?
Okay. Well, I wake up in the morning, usually late. So I always. I'd probably be late for my own funeral. So I wake up late in the morning and I grab a big cup of black coffee because I can't move or think without that. So I fire that down my neck while I'm getting ready like a maniac. Then I power walk my way into work. And once I get into work, then I pour my first big glass of water and another cup of black coffee. And on my calendar, on my computer at work, I have this little reminder set up. So it usually goes off every 45 minutes, and it just says water. So I'll be sipping my water until the alarm goes off, and I refill my glass, and I keep sipping it throughout the day. And that means, I've got pretty much about 3/4 of my water kind of done by the end of the workday, which is quite nice. And then when it comes to around lunchtime, because I don't really get hungry in the mornings, so about 1 or 2 o'clock, then I'll have a shake, because I quite like the shakes to start off my day. It's really nice, especially, if you're having a nice black coffee, you can mix the hazelnut shake in with the coffee, and it's really yummy. So I'll keep sipping my water. Then, because I do tend to work mad hours, around 6 o'clock-ish, I will probably make up a pasta carbonara and do that in the microwave at work, which is quite handy, and take a break and read Secrets of the Miz at my desk and eat that, and it's really, really yummy. Then I will usually just continue drinking my water and probably more coffee because, yeah, I love caffeine. It's great. And then eventually when I do get home, what I'll usually do is make up the chicken curry type pack and put loads and loads of extra chili flakes in that because I absolutely love that. Watch a bit of TV. So I'll have that, and then I'll have a cup of rooibos tea with a tiny bit of skim milk and a bar before bed. So that'll get through my full products. But it also makes me feel like, you know, I've had a proper lunch, I've had a nice breakfast, I've had a lovely dinner and a little dessert in the form of a bar at the end of the day. Sometimes, you know, because I'm a woman and the ladies will understand, if you're coming up to the evil lady time, as I like to call it, I'll get a bit more hungry and quite ratty. You know, that's pretty much the norm anyway.
You never.
Never know. So on days like that, I will add in maybe an extra wafer or something like that during the day, just to, you know, have that sort of comfort feeling.
Right.
But most days I'll just stick to my full products, get through all my water. My favorite thing actually is sparkling water at night, because before I started the diet, I would have at least one alcoholic drink a night after work, just because I felt so stressed all the time. So now,
Right.
instead of having a beer, I will pour myself a really big glass of ice cold sparkling water in a nice fancy glass. So it feels like a treat, even though I'm adding to, you know, getting my water allocation done. So, yeah, that's pretty much a normal work day in the life of Melissa.
Awesome. That's awesome. Like all that coffee, you must be ricocheting off every hard surface like a rocket.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Well, then the next one then is a day in the life of Melissa on refeed. So the way that you would go through your refeed process.
Well, I followed the document that I found in the Secret Swimmers plan and everything. So, I mean, it's been a while in terms of refeed. I would just literally follow it pretty much to the T, and have for like the first week kind of 3 products, and then start integrating, you know, healthy proteins. So, you know, like very lean chicken or very lean beef, with a couple of vegetables that are, you know, like mange too. I absolutely love them. They're really, really nice. A bit of broccoli and a bit of steamed low-fat protein, I suppose. And then just sort of, you know, set that up from just an evening meal to having a salad for lunch. But because the NIU products are so yummy, I tend to have them integrated, you know, pretty much all the way through refeed. I mean, I love having a bar, you know, if I'm feeling a bit, you know, lacking on energy, or having a shake at lunch, just because, you know, it makes you feel full, it tastes great, and, you know, it's very low calories. So it's a really good way of keeping your overall daily calories down, but also feeling full and full of energy as well.
Awesome. That is really cool. It's nice to see how people get on. What's your favorite product then?
Oh, man, that's a very difficult question. I'm obsessed with the hazelnut milkshakes. They are amazing. The chicken curry noodle soup thing, unbelievable. Yes. I honestly, once I get to go, I'll still be having at least 3 or 4 of those a week. They're amazing with loads of chili flakes, I swear. Oh, my God. And the hazelnut bars are just, they're to die for.
Yeah, they're my favorite as well. That and I'd say the wafers.
Oh, yeah, the wafers are amazing too, yeah. But you can't ask me just to choose my favorite product. Like, I have so many of them, it's ridiculous.
Well, this is it. The one thing that I've noticed, and that's why this part of my, you know, the interview is always my favorite part, because you get to hear, this is what really, the rest of it is a guide that you would possibly follow under our instruction, but this is where we really get down to see what the individual's all about and that sort of thing. It becomes a lot more personal at this point. So that's really cool. Thank you. And then, again, I'm not going to try and change it too much because it's still to do with your routine.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you said you don't run. That's fair enough.
Oh, God, no, I can't run. I'd end up with 2 black eyes.
All right. Well, I do know that there are other things that you do to stay fit.
Oh, yes.
What sort of things is it you keep yourself busy with then?
Well, it's only been really a recent thing. It kind of started at the beginning of September. But I've always wanted to do burlesque dancing. And I'd never obviously had the confidence beforehand because I was so big. And if I started prancing about in heels, I'd probably end up putting holes in the floor. So in September, I decided, right, I am going to try out this burlesque dancing. And I do that once a week on a Monday night. And it's absolutely fantastic. We're working towards a little performance at the end of the year. So I'll put the details of that in the Secret Swimmers group if anyone wants to come down and laugh at me in my super shiny disco pants and feather boa. Oh, yeah. And then also...
I'll come down as Disco Dracula.
Well, that'd be good. That'd be awesome. And then also on a Monday night, I do an hour and a half of yoga. And I never ever thought that I would be the type of person to go to yoga. But after actually doing it for a couple of weeks, it's absolutely amazing. I had no idea I was so bendy. It's really, really good that when you do something like yoga, I mean, it's not a massive, it's not an aerobic exercise or anything like that, but it does make you so much more aware and connected with your body. So I think that also develops a bit of confidence, definitely. And I can notice, from week to week, more than I would have previously, me losing weight. Because as soon as you get into really bizarre positions, with your head between your legs and your arms in the sky and your feet behind your ears and all this crazy stuff, you really can notice losing a pound or 2 every week.
I was going to say, I've never ended up from those positions unless it's been on an icy pavement. But
yeah, that's definitely something I'd recommend. There's, even something that, isn't too crazy. It's not running. It's not going to be too taxing. Just a little bit of exercise can make all of the difference. But then on top of that, during my week, on a Wednesday, I do my Dance Fit class, which is more of the kind of crazy aerobic nature. And I love it, though. It's really good to work up a bit of the sweat. And I really enjoy doing it when I'm in ketosis as well, because I think ketosis, you get that constant sort of surge of energy, and it's nice to have something to kind of, use all that energy up in. But yeah, Dance Fit is great. It's all kind of popular songs, the kind of the chart songs, and just bouncing around like a bunch of maniacs. So yeah, it's really, really good.
Wonderful. Well, you see, this is it. And I think, again, that's also one of the questions that I love asking, because everyone is so varied. My favorite form of exercise has always been the rowing machine, and everyone has this image of me sitting on this rowing machine, rowing for hours on end, actually not going anywhere. And you kind of think, how is it all at all enjoyable? And I think this is where it's down to the individual, whereas I appreciate that I'm not going anywhere, but that's my time to drift off.
Yeah.
So it sounds like that's much the case for you with this. So it's that creating enough physical activity that it impacts your fitness, and at the same time allows your brain to just release, if you know what I mean, because that's a lot of what fitness is.
Yeah, I think a good tip for anyone that is thinking, of adding a bit of exercise, because obviously you lose so much weight without any exercise. But if you are thinking of doing it, I would just say choose something that you personally will enjoy. I mean, the idea of running to me is abhorrent. I could not run anywhere at all. I started trying to do it, and it was miserable, and I just hated it. So it wasn't for me. But, doing dance classes and things like that, I really, really enjoy it. So it means that I haven't missed a single one. I keep going every week, and it's something I look forward to instead of dreading. So I'd say to people, think about the things that you do enjoy and try and, choose an energetic version of one of those, because it means that you'll stick to it instead of just making excuses to not go.
Mm. Well, that also then raises a really nice point. You've given that suggestion there to people that are thinking of doing it and taking things up like that. What would your suggestion then be to anyone that's maybe sitting on the fence thinking about doing this diet? What would your words of wisdom to them be?
Oh my goodness. Other than do it, just do it. Honestly, I can understand the mindset though. I toyed with the idea in my mind for, a week or two, thinking, oh, this is just, another diet plan that isn't going to work for me. I'm just going to end up spending money and just letting the products go to waste. No, this is just a completely different plan to anything else I've ever tried. If you can do it for 1 week, honestly, just put all of your doubts aside and give it 100% for 1 week, that's going to confirm absolutely everything about how successful this diet will be. Because in 7 days, and I promise you, 7 days, you will already feel and look so much better. I don't know any other diet plan or company that can, you can already start to see the results in 7 days. So honestly, that is what I would say to anyone that's kind of on the fence thinking, should I not? I don't know. Just go ahead. Just put them all to the side, do it for 1 week, and then you'll be back. I promise you.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, Melissa, that pretty much wraps up the sort of things that I wanted to cover with you in the interview, but just because I think it might benefit anyone that's listening, I'd like to also look at the recent success story that we had with you and your photo shoot.
Yay.
If that's all right.
Yeah.
And, for all of us, that was quite a magical day. It turned into something I think a lot more than any of us expected.
Definitely.
Because we all got to share in that, and it was just a really lovely day.
That was
So,
amazing.
absolutely. What was it, because I know that Ellie took care of a lot of it for you. What was it that you did initially, and what was it, what did it mean to you?
For me, to be honest, I actually never thought that I would get that far, and to have, something visual to kind of prove to myself that, yes, I actually did it, was just phenomenal. Honestly, it was kind of like, I don't really know how to put this. I think every big person or everybody that has quite a lot of weight to lose sometimes drifts off in their mind and thinks, you know what, I would just love one morning just to wake up and be thin and feel pretty and, just be like a model for a day. Wouldn't that be amazing? And on that day, that is what it felt like it happened. It felt like I'd just woken up and, all of my dreams had come true. I got to wake up and feel really like thin and pretty and put on a beautiful dress and have an amazing day with amazing people and get to prance about in front of the camera and hold up balloons. And I honestly did. I felt like a bit of a celebrity, a bit of a model. And I couldn't believe that, I had, gone through all this work and these months, whatever, to make that dream come true. It was just, I don't even have the words to describe it properly. But I tell you what, I'll never, ever forget that day, ever.
Well, I mean, every day that we have interactions with you, you've proven how much of a beautiful person you are, both inside and out. So thank you so much for that. And I really appreciate you taking the time out this evening to share this with me. I realize I've taken up a large chunk of your evening. I'm sorry about that.
No, not at all. And absolutely fine. It's all good.
Awesome. Well, Melissa, I won't keep you any longer. Thank you so much. And to everyone that's listening, a big thank you to Melissa Gordon. She's been fantastic to interview. And I hope you have a wonderful evening, because it is the evening time now. Melissa, and take care and enjoy your weekend.
You too, and a big shout out to all the gorgeous Secret Slimmers, and I hope you've all enjoyed listening to my bit manic interview. Okay.
Thanks, Melissa. Bye.
Bye.